Hi, welcome to Chili's.
Henry, this is episode 2 of EasyMode.
Oh, the show where we talk about all things gaming.
Yes, with your favorite professional casual gamers.
That's Delayed Dale. She's the beauty and the brains.
And that's Henry, queen, the weeb of my eyes who loves thick thighs.
And this is Easy Mode, the gaming podcast.
We have never played Fortnite, but we have found Tomato Town.
Exactly. Dale, what have you been playing this week? What's been going on? Catch me up. Let me know.
I have been playing a lot of this game called Project Winter. Have you heard of it?
No, what's that?
So Project Winter is a social deduction. Like basically there's two people who are the traitors and everybody else are the survivors. They need to repair the power station to like get the call for help. But the traitors are trying to sabotage them and you can also kill them. And it's a lot of deception and your heart's like beating. It's also like proximity chat. So it's a lot. I've been playing a lot of that. Yeah.
They have that all in one game?
It's a lot.
Chat too?
It's also on sale right now. Maybe we should play it.
Oh, you don't have to tell me once. I've been playing. This is going to be a shocker, but mainly because of all the fuss it's been getting this past few months, and fuss that is well earned. But I've decided to give a try to Halo Infinite. Now, no one knows I'm playing it. I haven't told anyone yet. Mainly because I'd like to develop any sense of skill and or like not be absolute trash at it. But it is very enjoyable, and I sort of get the hype. I'm terrible at it right now, but hopefully I'll get good ? And then I can start bringing my friends into the game like I do.
So
with every
hopefully
other
when
game.
this episode is dropped, when it launches, you'll be a pro, and everyone will know.
Sign me on the team. Cloud9, Sentinels, Liquid. A good name. I think that's not even in America, but okay, that's fine. But I can't wait to get all my friends. I mean, I got all my friends started in Valorant. I can't wait to get them into Halo Infinite.
I love the impact that you have, the influence that you have for gaming. It's amazing.
I love it. I get people addicted to games and they're going to play them with me. But I love my friends, so I get it.
I mean, that's amazing. Speaking of like playing games with your friends, the whole episode today, we're going to be talking about the impact on gaming through connections and loneliness. And we're going to dive into so many different topics. We've both done a lot of research and pulled in some stats. So I'm really excited to hear what you've brought for me and what I've brought for you and how we together can bring it for everybody else.
Yes, let's bring it. I brought you some fun stories, some touching stories, and some hope and light for the future, I hope. All through gaming, of course.
Yes.
I'm very excited to talk about this topic this week, Dale. I'm super stoked. And should we just get started?
Yeah, let's get into the episode.
You got it.
So, Henry, we all know that the COVID-19 pandemonium has really drastically impacted not only our relationships, but the way we interact with many others. People are suffering from loneliness, and it's also deemed the silent killer because the effects of loneliness are not immediately visible. The condition is rarely discussed. So I found on a global survey posted in November 2021 from Statistica.com that shows that 33% of adults experience feelings of loneliness.
I'd always want to say I'm surprised by that, but I really am not. You know, we know a lot of people who share those feelings. We've often shared those feelings. The pandemic has made it a lot harder for everyone. So, I mean, like, sadly and in all honesty, like that tracks. And honestly, shocked it's not even more. It's been a difficult few years for everyone, and I totally understand that.
It's been, I love how you said pandemic, and I was like pandemonium. I need to make some sort of like joke out of this because it's so hard on everybody, right?
Just saying it feels like a weight, an exhaustion. It's exhausting.
It's a lot. I'm actually surprised that that number is so, like, I thought it would be a lot higher. 33% is still quite a large number, but maybe it's because I'm like reflecting on like all the people that I talk to and the loneliness that they experience. Like, for example, a lot of my friends, they don't game. And so it's like hard for me to like keep up the relationship with them because we can text and such, but texting can only go so far until you choose to not respond back. And it's exhausting. So I, during this time, really sought out gaming and I found a lot of friends through that. And it's hard as an extrovert. It's really hard.
It is hard.
I know you struggle with it like I do.
For sure. Both of us are extroverts. And like, unfortunately, and I'm glad I've come to this realization, but I do need social interaction to like recharge myself. It makes that alone time more valuable, but like social interactions are super, super important to me. I do love to text. I do love to chat. I like to mainly go out to eat, but I mean, obviously not as possible over the past few years. But like, I really don't feel like I have like had a full or complete day unless I chat with like my online friends, my gaming friends, or at least like play something with them, even for just like a short minute. It really like makes me feel like I've had a full and complete day, because like just work, and then like the things you have to do to take care of yourself like doesn't feel like enough. You like
No, I totally agree.
you feel like I did the steps and like now what's left. So like I really try to talk to everyone, all my close friends, shout out to them, love you all, on a daily basis.
I'm right here, but thank you.
I mean, listen, as soon as we end this show, you know, I immediately message you, so no shocker there.
I mean, yeah.
But I try to just connect with everyone every day, mainly because I love chatting. People are busy, so it's hard to respond, but it's something that brings me joy, and hopefully I bring them joy, somewhat. And you know,
you bring me a lot of joy.
Good. I was gonna say shout out to you, Dale, and my other friends.
Shout out to you.
Really make my life a lot better. So I'm very thankful for all of you, especially friends I've made through the online space. It's been a fantastic experience, and I'm grateful for it for sure.
Something that I've recently done, well, not recent, but like I've made a lot of friends through gaming, and even if we're like not gaming together, we'll be on like on a Discord call, but we turn our cameras on, like we'll do like a mukbang or mukbang, you know, like get some food, catch up. So it feels like, honestly, it's amazing. I've never met these people in person. Like I've never met you in person, but like the connection that we have is something that's just amazing. Like I'm so grateful for you and like these connections that I've made through this whole pandemic, and I wouldn't change these relationships for anything. I feel like you guys have helped grow me, help me kind of develop, and there's been, as much as it's been so negative, I like to really reflect on the positives of what has been happening. So for example, EasyMode. It's episode 2. Like how flippin' exciting. And we're doing this during the pandemonium. Like, oh my God. You make me feel less alone, and I hope
we know we would have never found each other otherwise. And some of the, you know, honestly, some of my online relationships and friendships are a lot closer and a lot more honest and a lot more connected and better communication than some of my like IRL relationships. And that's sort of weird to think about, but it's true. And I'm like, great. I'm like, this is sort of a different form of relationship that I hadn't have before. But I do now, and now I'm learning how those work, and I see that they're just as significant, if not more, than a lot of my other relationships, because they're just more honest and valuable.
Yeah, well, that's amazing. I have some facts I want to read to you. I want you to react to them. When I read these absolutely shocked me.
God.
So I did some research on the campaign to end loneliness.org. Could I say that again? That was so. Can I speak English? Okay. It's called campaign to end loneliness.org. So there was a reference to a study done in 2016 on the impact of loneliness and depression on mortality. And it showed that loneliness with severe depression is associated to early mortality.
Ugh. I mean, it makes sense, but it's difficult to hear. Like that, the physical effect that feelings can have on you is very real. Very genuine. And I mean, there's the research that sort of backs it up.
Yeah, deemed the silent killer, because also people don't talk about this. People do not talk about how loneliness actually like negatively impacts and affects you. So the site also referenced to an article posted in 2017 named Social Isolation, Loneliness, and Health in Old Age, which outlined that loneliness is a risk factor for depression in later life. So the feelings that we have now, well, we know will impact us later, but in such a negative and drastic way.
Yeah, I mean, again, that makes sense and tracks. It's always difficult to hear. But to that same point, that's why it's also important to not necessarily make an effort, but be aware of that and know that there, as difficult as it may seem and as dark as it may seem, there are people out there for you. There are people waiting to connect with you. There are people who are happy to have you in their lives. They're grateful to have you in your lives. And maybe some people aren't good at communicating that, and you need to hear it more than others. But there are people for everyone. Don't forget that. There is. Maybe it's difficult to find. Maybe you're in a difficult situation. But there is somewhere, and don't lose that hope. Because if you and I can find each other, Dale, everyone else definitely has a shot. Yes, and we live worlds apart. We are. Well, you're 2 hours ahead of me. I'm in Canada, and you're in New York City, baby. So if we can make this friendship work and everything, there's somebody for there. So here was a fact that, like, when I read it, I was like, oh, I told my parents about it. They're like, yeah, like, obviously. I'm like, excuse? How is that obvious? How is that obvious? So okay, so
Right? It's the boomer effect. Also, boomers, if you're listening, we still love you. So per the Holt Lundstad in 2015, per Holt Lundstad, I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. In 2015, loneliness, living alone, and poor social connections are as bad for you as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. A day!
Now that one is shocking. 15 cigarettes? Those are full of like what, carcinogens? Isn't that what's in them? Tar?
I've never smoked a cig in my life, so I don't know. But I was shocked. The effects, like the silent killer. It's so true. And what I love about gaming is just the connections that you can make. Like parents have shown, well, not all parents, but most parents have shown that like gaming has actually improved their child's like life and their social interactions, especially now that they cannot interact with their peers in person. They can game and then they can build those relationships. So
yeah, there's a lot there. Relationships, social skills. You know, you do make lifelong friends. We hear it. We've heard it everywhere. You've heard it before, and you're seeing it now. People, the connections you can make are fantastic. But the 15 cigarettes a day is shocking. That's like, I think that's more than a pack, right? Like,
how many are in a pack? Like 10 or in a pack?
I want to say 12.
I don't know. I don't
sounds
smoke.
like a good
so
number.
12 or I feel like, maybe it's 12. 10 is kind of a little bit weird. It feels like you're not getting your money's worth. I don't know. I'm not part of that industry, but crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah. If you or somebody you know needs help, please make sure that you talk to somebody and reach out to somebody that you know or your local resources. Because just know that there are people out there for you. Just never feel like there's no option. There always is an option. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
And if you do need help or need someone to reach out to, we'll make sure to include local resources for Canada and the US for you in the show notes, located in this podcast episode on whatever platform you are listening on.
Thank you.
Now that we've covered some information that has to do with loneliness and some risks and health factors with that, we got some amazing statistics there. So thank you for that, Dale. That's always necessary to hear. I actually have some fun statistics for you about the power of friendship, specifically across gaming. And, you know, we see the effects about it, but people do study this. So it's fun to have some actual data. In an article from videogames.org done through NPD, which is a major like consumer reporting research company, 3 out of every 4 people in the United States, excluded Canada there, making that about 244 million people have increased and spent time gaming during the pandemonium, about 35%. So currently more people are gaming more than ever. And that also includes an increase in gaming time. So if people were already gamers, their times have increased. And if they weren't, they've started, which is fantastic. And it's awesome. And you know what? Reflecting back on the pandemic, gaming did have a huge moment during the break. Like there was like, I mean, what else were we supposed to do? Nintendo Switches, you couldn't get them anywhere. Online gaming, games were launching. Everyone was busy. You couldn't get on a server. But I think the game that really had its moment during the pandemic, Dale, and you love it, I love it, and it really was newsworthy. It was being covered everywhere. It was difficult to get. It created.
I feel like I know what you're going to say. Are we going to say it at the same time?
Let's say it. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Animal Crossing. Yep. I mean, just think about it. Animal Crossing was the game. And
it was the moment. Yeah. It still is the moment.
It still is with every new update. And now, thank goodness, they're even adding payable DLC, which I'm okay with payable DLC if it's going to be as substantial as it was for this update. If I'm going to pay for it, give me something good like you did this last game. The pre-updates, I was okay with. I'm like, great, fun, cute. Give me this. I'll pay for it. And if I'll pay it for you. I'm like, do you want it? You'll get it too. We'll both play. But like, it brought a whole social aspect. Everyone was sharing, like Twitter was full of decor ideas. Everyone was sharing their pattern codes for clothes, for designs.
You know that they have apps for this?
Yes.
I downloaded, it's called Nookia. It's like IKEA, but for Nook. Like, you know, Nook's Cranny. Amazing. I can download custom designs on there. I can get inspiration for what people have posted. They have different styles like city core, island core. It's all this different stuff. It's amazing. My island's kind of cottage core, but yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Like it started off as just like, here's Animal Crossing, but it's not just Animal Crossing. It's like, bam.
Yes, and the
Continue. Sorry.
No, I mean, I freaking loved it. And the online social aspect was great. Being able to visit your friends' islands, being able to meet people through social, visit their islands, get ideas. They sort of have that now, that island like where you can visit people's dream islands and see people's islands who you don't know. But it created a virtual social environment for people to connect with who were away from their family, away from their friends, away from their relatives, sort of where they can all come together and have a shared, like, physical, generally realistic experience together online. And it was nice. And I mean, even got to the point where people had their weddings on Animal Crossing. People had like large social events for everything that you couldn't do IRL during these past few years. You can do it in Animal Crossing, and it was great. And, you know, this has been happening in gaming forever. I mean, that reference for it, there was a guild in World of Warcraft that lost one of their, they've been friends for years, lost one of their members, I think to an illness, which was very, very sad. But they all met online and had like a online virtual, like, celebration of life, like honorable memorial service where I think it was like hundreds of players came together and like jointly honored this person on an online virtual space.
I think that also Final Fantasy did something of the sort too. Yeah, it's amazing how communities can just like come together and just, you know, like the impact is like one person, but it's a whole community behind you. Oh my God. I got the chills again. What's with the chills today?
I know. And
I do want to say one thing back to the Animal Crossing and the connections. So back when it first launched, everyone was talking about turnip prices, turnip prices. Somebody posted their turnip prices. I think it was like almost 500 bells. Do you know who Elijah Wood is?
I do know who Elijah Wood is.
Elijah Wood tweeted saying, "Can I come to your island?" So a celebrity on your island, like, I was like, squeeze. I love that moment. That was everything.
What celebrity would you want to visit your island if you had great turnip prices, Dale? Like, who is your celebrity you want come to? What's your island called?
My island is called Pepperino.
Okay,
just based off of my because of my community. So we're the Peppers. But if I was to have anybody on my island, oh my God, probably Lady Gaga.
Oh my gosh, that would be so great.
Oh my God. I don't know what I would do. My character would simply faint. I would faint. I don't know. Everything would just happen.
Eyes.
Honestly. But you, though, you haven't even visited my island yet.
No,
so
I
maybe
haven't.
you.
I tried one time when you were streaming, and then my Nintendo, I don't know what was going on with my Switch, but I couldn't come in.
What's your island's name?
It's a Queendom. Also tracks.
Queendom.
Yeah.
Also what?
Also tracks with my sort of like Discord community.
Tracks.
Yeah.
I kept hearing you say trash, and I was like, are we about to fight right now?
My island is trash. Don't come to it.
No, don't come to it
There's
either.
a lot of work being done. Under renovation. We're opening next year. Under new management.
I love that. You know what? Something else that I think is super interesting is when I was growing up, everyone was afraid of the internet because the internet was just like coming out. Like I was alive during dial-up. Okay, not to age myself, but it was like the phone went off, bam, I was no internet. And they always taught you the don't talk to strangers, don't talk to strangers, and just like be cautious when you're online. Like I'm not saying don't be cautious online, but look at me now. All my friends are online, so it's like come full swing. Like I was like raised to be super afraid of the internet. Just be afraid of strangers, and now it's like, hi Henry, I've never even met you, but like I love you and I talk to you every single day.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. I could have like 4 legs you wouldn't even know. But not that it would affect our friendship, of course.
That would never affect our
friendship. Of course. That's what I wanted to hear.
Unless you started kicking me with 4 legs, and then that would be...
Well, I hate to break it to you, that's going to happen. And I think we mentioned it. There are so many kinds of communities online. Discord communities, streamers have their own communities, which, by the way, I know this is... Everyone probably knows this besides me, but there are Discord communities that aren't streamer related. There's a lot of Discord communities based on interest.
Yes.
Look for those, because when I heard about that and I was like, it's not just for Twitch streamers, I was like mind blown.
So it was actually opposite for me. I didn't know that Twitch streamers had Discords. I was always in Discords for like interest because I would find them through Reddit. And then I would join and I was like, oh, there's a community that like likes the same stuff as me. Like it was like, what's going on? So it's amazing. It's so easy to find people that have the same interests as you. All you have to do is just look for it. Like there's stuff out there if you're willing to like look and put yourself out there. So
yeah. And then you have a fantastic Twitch community.
Thank you.
Which it's honored to be a part of. But yeah, your chat, your Discord, your sort of community is fantastic. They're engaging. They're fun. It's a good spirit. It's a good time. They're wild, like us.
Yeah.
But you have a fantastic Twitch community and great mods as well. If I can, I want to drop off, and then, we've chatted about this before, but some advice from the heart from me. The biggest piece of advice I can give to anyone, it's difficult, it's not always enjoyable, but it is, when it comes to friendships, if you think that other person on the other side of the screen, of the phone, in real life, could be a valuable friend to you, make the effort. Even if it's not always reciprocated. Some people may be too scared to reciprocate based on like previous relationships and friendships that may have been difficult for them. Make the effort, send the chat, send the message, hang out on the Discord, invite them to play a game. Doing that really shows to people that you value them and you want to spend time with them, which is a big investment for a lot of people these days. But ultimately that pays off into building a close and personal relationship with someone. And though that is invaluable to me, in my opinion, there often will be times where people will not reciprocate it. Ultimately, they're not willing to invest the same amount of time that you invest in them. And that's okay. It can be difficult. It can be painful, hurtful, disappointing. But ultimately, being someone who tries and the reward of the friendships you do make from putting in the effort, it's going to be worth so much more and feel so much better than the people whose friendships didn't work out with. So put in the effort. You can make the call when it was worth it to you or not, but it'll always be better to do it. I recommend it. I've made incredible friends.
Also, an invite goes a long way. Exactly. An invite goes a long way because sometimes people are shy and people just want to be included at the end of the day. Like, everyone's human and we all experience loneliness. Going back to like what we talked about in the first part, like we know the negative effects. So like, now that you know, just consider even like sending an invite, or even just like, hey, you want to do something? Like, you don't even have to do it on voice. Just sometimes feeling included is all that people want. So
yeah, do it. We'll be waiting for our gaming invites after this show.
Where's mine? How come you never invite me, Henry? What is this?
I don't think
is
we
it because I'm not gold? Is it because I play unranked?
I've never gamed before, so.
God, fake gamer over here. No tears or anything. And we're
all
back.
right. Well, Dale, as we know, much like ourselves, after friendship comes romance. So, do you have anything to say about that?
Did you hear my cat?
No.
Did you hear? Oh, no. I thought you heard my cat. You started laughing right as she went, oh!
No, I thought...
Like the perfect timing.
I thought you were going to have something to say about us being in love.
Us in love? Okay, well, you've been with your partner for 10 years, and all I have is hashtag singles awareness, okay? That's all I have.
I have enough love to go around, Dale. You should note that.
Thank you.
Well, beyond friendships, romance. I am a sucker for a romance story, not a romance movie. I don't want to see that on my TV. But if you tell me a touching story, there will be tears.
All right. So am I going to cry? Because I'm sensitive.
You are sensitive. I'm sensitive too. I remember I told you I woke up that day and cried to a cow video first thing in the morning. Well, and it was much less significant than these. But I do have a few stories for you about some gamers who met online and lived happily ever after. Do you want to hear them?
Okay. No, I'd love to hear it.
Just the power of gaming, bringing people together. I love it. Okay, here's your first one. Starts off in France. Jen and Dan Burks.
France, okay.
They played this game.
Ooh,
Jen and Dan. Still together to this day. I looked it up, made sure. Because I was going to tell a story and like ended in divorce. Which divorce is okay. If you want to get a divorce, that's fine. It's probably for the best. But Jen and Dan are together, and it's because of gaming. They played this game, never heard of it, called Dofus or Doofus. I don't speak French. I can't tell you.
Okay.
They're characters. They're anime looking. They fight monsters in a fantasy world. They sort of became friends on this online game. And in the game, if you marry each other in this game, you can teleport to the other person without like a cooldown or a recharge. You can always do it no matter what. So Jen has been playing this, married this online character. They play together all the time. Jen, which shout out to Jen, absolute queen. All her previous relationships had been through meeting online in gaming. Like all her major previous relationships have been online through gaming, which I'm like, girl, good for you. Get the guys. I don't know what you're doing online, but teach me because I need to bring them in. But
teach me. I'm single.
Jen, shout out to connect with your girl Dale over here.
Shout out to Jen.
But like a lot of us know, you're a full-time employee of a company. I'm a full-time employee of a company. Life gets busy and she had less time to game. So she did meet someone IRL. She started playing the game less and less. The guy she met IRL also did play the game. So he would often play on her account because she's a gaming queen and had a better account, of course. Eventually, her and her ex, they wrote his name in it in the article. I was like, I'm not giving this ex man any attention.
No.
Eventually, they broke up, but her ex still played on her account. And every time he signed into her account, she was fine with it. Every time he signed into her account, her online husband would be like, Jen, you're here. And he'd be so excited to like see her character online. And he thought on occasion that it would be Jen playing, and he always hoped. Eventually, Jen did start playing Dofus again. And her chemistry with her online husband went beyond that of the gaming world. They started connecting online. He made her laugh. And eventually, Dan visited Jen in Michigan for 2 weeks in June in 2010. This was their first in-person meeting. And then that same December of that same year, Jen flew all the way to Norway where Dan lived. And on her third day there, he proposed. She said yes. They had only been together, spent 17 IRL days together before he proposed. But Dan's was like, when you know it's the right person, you know. So they both
when you know,
knew.
you know. That's what they always say.
Eventually, Dan moved to Michigan, and they have a family, and they are living happily ever after.
What is this game?
Dofus, yeah.
Oh my God.
Maybe there's a lot of, if she's met so many guys, maybe there's a lot of single gentlemen on
maybe
Dofus.
I should start playing Dofus. That's an
Maybe
amazing
cute
story.
Norwegian.
Jen, shout out to Jen and Dan. We're really happy for you. That's amazing. This is
Jen and Dan, we love you.
this
Congrats
is a heart
to
for
you.
Hearts. Yes.
Um,
The power of gaming, like it has the ability to, if you're missing something in your life, gaming can almost help you fill that void. Like you need something, you're missing that social connection, or you just want to, be creative, or maybe you're feeling trapped in your corporate job. Is this talking about myself? Yes. So do we use gaming as escape? Yeah, gaming is everything. Like it's not a waste of time. If it's a waste of time, why are there so many positive effects? That's what I want to say to that. And thank you for those beautiful stories. God damn.
I mean, I love them. I saw this and I was like, wow. Like, it just feels good to hear some positive going out, which I don't feel gaming always gets its due credit for it. But in the world we are today, I think we're starting to see that change. We're starting to see the difference in the perspective change of the industry. And though the industry itself is not perfect, the purpose and intention of gaming has a lot of fantastic benefits.
I love that.
Yes. Now, I do want to tell you, we're both TikTok fans, obviously. Send each other TikToks all the time. Yep. There is sort of, talking about time changing, moving forward. Like, there's a lot of families who game together.
I know.
I've
It's
seen
amazing.
TikToks where a whole family, and shout out to them because they have more space than I do. This dad built a gaming station for his 3 daughters, and they each had a PC with 2 screens, and they all played together in the room. They're playing Roblox, I think, on TikTok. But I do want to shout out one, and I think it's pronounced Wortheed. It's a father and son who play Minecraft. And if you ever just need the biggest boost of serotonin, he is very, very young, and his dad is teaching him how to play Minecraft, and he's taking it slow for him. And he's like, Daddy, I dropped my armor down, whatever. And he's like, it's okay. And he has a lot of patience with him. And their conversations are very genuine and slow. It feels like what we need in gaming today. Very non-toxic, very sort of non-competitive, non-maximization, and sort of an enjoyable experience. I think, I'm sure his son will remember that for the rest of my life. It's a core memory. For the rest of his life.
Yeah. Your life too. You're going to remember this for the rest of your life.
I'll remember it for the rest of my life for sure. Just because I think if I had that growing up, that would have just been an invaluable life experience to me. And so shout out to them. Check it out. It's such a great TikTok channel. One of my faves.
I love it. I love seeing those TikToks, especially I've seen a couple where the child has asked for something, and then the father has built them a gaming PC, and their reaction, they break down and cry. He's like, oh God, that gets to me. But it's so wholesome. How can, you know what, if you're a parent and you're on the fence about, I don't know if I might want my child to game, these are some positive things. It's not all violence and shooting guns. It's there's so much more. It's a social connection, the feeling of being with others, you know, the ability to create and just express yourself. You know?
Exactly. Even finding something you're good at. Like when you're good at the game, you're like, fuck yeah.
Or even if you just want to like hang out and relax, like why does everything have to be like so objective oriented, right? So like
for sure.
Yeah, do it. I encourage it fully. Henry, this episode has been absolutely amazing. We've definitely like gone through the negative effects of loneliness, and then talked about how through gaming we have found each other. People have found love. It's the impact of gaming is everywhere, and the connections that we've made, they're going to stick with us forever.
They are, and I think you and I are a prime example.
Totally
for ourselves and for others.
Truly.
If
you are like listening to this and you're like, I can never find that. If we found each other, you will find somebody. You will find your Dale to your Henry.
Exactly.
Or your Henry to your Dale. You will. I promise you.
Online couple goals for sure. If you like this week's episode, please make sure to follow us on all platforms from Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you know someone that needs to hear a little bit about the power of gaming, the connections you can make, and the importance of it and the impact, share this episode with them. Or if there's someone you know who you're grateful to have met online and value your relationship, send this episode to them as well. I'm sure they'll appreciate hearing from you, and just learning more about the power of gaming.
The power of gaming. Gaming is so powerful.
It is.
I really just want to establish how it's changed so many people's lives. So with that, Henry, what games are you looking forward to playing once we wrap up?
Dale, I was not prepared for this question today. I know it's how we wrap our episodes, but I was not ready. What are you looking forward to playing? I need a second.
You need a second?
Yes.
Okay. Well, for myself, I recently got this game called Cozy Grove.
Oh.
So I'm excited to play that because I've been playing a lot of like high energy, like very fast-paced games, and very toxic. I'll be honest with you, I've been playing some toxic games, and I just wanted to play something that's a little bit more relaxing and just kind of like vibe out. So that's what I'm really excited for.
You know what? I think we might be on the same page. I've been playing a lot of Valorant this week, but all this Fred Should Talk has made me want to spend some quality time with my friends, and I think one of my favorite games to do that, and if you haven't played it, I would definitely check it out. It's called The Blackout Club. It's sort of a stealth-based game, a little spooky-ooky, but you're these teens trying to save the neighborhood from, I don't know, some mysterious organization. It's like stealth-based. It's mission objective. It is a little difficult, but sometimes when you're online, the devs get involved in your gameplay, and it's actually shocking and wild when it happens.
So can we play this after? Because that sounds very
Yeah. I'll send you the link. I'll send you the Steam. But it's a wild and fun time. It is hard, but it's good. And I just enjoy vibing out and trying to do the missions with my friends while chatting and laughing. It's a silly time. And I think I'm looking forward to that right now.
That's amazing. Wow. Well, I'm excited to play that with you after this episode. And thank you guys for listening. It's been an amazing time here on EasyMode episode 2. Gosh. We're
fantastic.
Only keep posting more. See you guys for the next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.